Yo, what's up guys, welcome to another Warcraft replay. Here we are on the map Concealed Hill between undead and human players. Shun spawning in as the blue undead, right? What's the overlay say? It should be red. So let's just switch over. Shun spawning in as the red undead player on the bottom left, and Yumiko spawning in as the blue human player in the top right. This is the second game for 1.31. I do apologize for not uploading in the past week. Just had my final week of university, and yeah, we're in exam period, but since it's the starting of exam period, I should probably just get like a couple videos buffered up so I can just, you know, fully concentrate on studying for my finals. But yeah, Yumiko, no need for introductions on Yumiko. I think he is now back and active, maybe, I don't know. But Shun is a player I have never heard of before.
Job's done.
But when I looked him up, apparently he played for quite a while. Obviously not as the high level as Yumiko, obviously, but yeah, surprising fact is that his first major tournament results, which is in the top 8, I think in the... oh crap, I forgot its name, but he actually faced Yumiko on that particular game, and yeah, I just found it interesting that first time I'm going to be casting him is going to be versus his first major opponent, which I believe was Yumiko. So yeah, 1.31, what has exactly changed for these two races? Human changes are, I'm not sure if it's that significant. The animal training units did get a slight early game buff, I guess you could say, early game. I mean, the health that the animal training upgrade gives has slightly been transferred over to the base health of the knights and Dragonhawk riders and griffins and all that. But yeah, the actual health that the upgrade gives now is slightly less, so it's the exact same in the late game, but it's slightly better earlier on, so if that actually makes sense. Overfire also got a slight nerf, I think. It lost its splash damage, but yeah, I can't actually remember what else. Oh yeah, it also deals less damage overall, but it has a healing reduction effect, so I'm not sure how useful that's going to be, especially for this matchup. It might actually be quite decent since it's, I believe, 33%, or at least that's how other games usually do it. So that 33% reduction on a death coil healing could be significant, but of course we'll have to wait and see if Yumiko actually goes into tier 3 for that orb of fire. What else changed? Yeah, not really much else worth of note. I think Spellbreakers got their control magic changed a little bit to maybe be a bit worse, I think. It shows the mana costs.
Our forces are under attack.
Yeah, and undead. Let me just tab over here and scroll down to the undead, because I actually can't remember anything about the undead. So Gargoyles did get slight buff, which we did see in the previous game. Yeah, it didn't really work out too well at the end, but we did see the potencies, I guess, of Gargoyles. I say that with quotation marks because I'm still not really convinced by it, and I think the major change for Undead was that Necromancers got touched, which is really weird, but I think it's just a ladder kind of thing in the like low to mid ladder level, because I do not see Necromancers at all so far. Lots of skeletons, lots of ghouls moving over to try and harass this. Death Knight is at level 2, so we did do some early farming before coming into this, but yeah, it seems like his efforts might be for more. Oh, nice death core to kill up, finish off a footman there, and we might actually be picking up some easy peasant kills. As I say that, he is just going to withdraw his units instead, as it seems like he just doesn't want to lose his own units in trade for a couple of workers. Death Knight is below half health, which is not that great of a position to be in. He is probably just gonna go for a death coil kill on this peasant. Nope, seems like ghouls are just going to be enough. Trying to get that level 3 as quickly as possible. Is going to be using his death coils to heal up those ghouls, however, and might be able to get enough peasants for himself. I don't know. A death coil, ooh, a little bit shy there. And it seems like he's just not able to finish the deal. That would have definitely given him that level 3, so yeah, running away at this point is slightly a bit wasteful, especially since he did lose a couple of ghouls for that. TP staff is going to be picked up and going to be used immediately to run away from this location. Archmage gonna pick up some boots of speed, as yeah, DK didn't pick one up for himself. I guess he's just gonna rely on his unholy aura there. But yep, reminder, 1.31 doesn't drop boots anymore, so kind of have to buy it from the shop anyway. We do have a Blight Skull being used to hopefully set up an expansion, because yeah, Shun is kind of a bit behind in terms of just overall advantage, because his opponent is already mining off of an entirely new gold mine, so yeah, it kind of incentivizes him to either all in, which is not that reliable, or match that expansion, which he is hopefully going to do very soon, because yeah, I don't see any acolytes moving at all, so a bit worrisome. Tier 2 is completed, Sword House is almost done, and the Lich is gonna pop out. But so far it doesn't look that intimidating for Shun's side. He does not exactly have that many units. 32 versus Yumiko's 40, and Yumiko's still at this fountain. He is taking a sweet little time taking on down that Red Drake, which will drop the Soul Mask, so will be a lot more useful on a second or third hero, because the Brilliant Aura of the Archmage should probably be enough, should probably be self-sufficient. Okay, I believe this is high ground, so can't actually see what's going on here. Probably thought it was a scout from him, but either way, he is going to try and harass this expansion once again. Tons of skeletons, one arcane tower. Yeah, I think he's just going to be trying to pick up a couple of easy peasants here, and might actually be able to do so. Frost Nova is a pretty good tool to use against those repairing workers, but here we go here with a defense from Yumiko. Lots of women to try and push back this undead army, and yeah, we'll be able to do so. Yumiko sitting on a crap ton of gold, 500. Is kind of lacking in lumber, but he did get himself a shredder, if I believe. There it is. Yeah, I'm pretty sure the shredder didn't die before, because I didn't hear its wailing screams, but yeah, this should be able to try and boost up the lumber gathering rate of the human player here. Tier 2 is nearly done as well. Blacksmith on the way, so potential workshops. Not too sure on the riflemen themselves, because they're not exactly a great match versus Crypt Fiends. Obviously they're very good versus destroyers, but I mean, so are a couple of Griffin Aviaries. That's a lot of footmen from Yumiko. I mean, obviously you really can't actually make any other units unless you had that blacksmith already, so yeah. Keep is now done. I am waiting to see what Yumiko is going to go for. Mountain King second, which would absolutely love the Sobi mask that is currently in the Archmage's inventory. A couple of guard towers being upgraded here. One is going to get quickly cancelled thanks to the DPS coming in from Shun. Shun is hoping to try and expand, but it seems like it is just now starting. Obviously this footman can't really do much by himself, but I'm actually super surprised it took this long to start placing down your haunted gold mine. I mean, Black Citadel, I guess he was prioritizing that over an expansion, but I don't know if that will be a necessarily wise choice.
Our forces are under attack.
So we do have an Arcane Sanctum being placed down. We might just be going for Rifle Casters. Doesn't sound too great versus Undead. We are actually just going to be jumping into tier 3, as it seems like I think Yumiko is just waiting on lumber. Expansion is going to get delayed once again, as Archmage with a couple of elementals is going to be enough to force the cancel there, and Shun is now really screwed. Hopefully he can get an expansion down very soon. He might be looking for an expansion in the middle since it's not at all expected, but yeah, he is about 5 minutes or so behind from second gold mine, so yeah, that difference is going to start being very apparent very soon. Death Knight, very close to level 4, needs to be a little careful not to get Stormbolt surrounded by those footmen there. We do have a Dreadlord coming in as the third and final hero, and Frenzy is on its way. Frenzy, I believe, did get a slight numbers buff, so it speeds up the ghouls even more. Tomb of Relics is going to get taken down, but not that major of a loss there. Frost Nova is going to be casting, trying to pick up a couple of footmen, and will be able to do so, as well as an Elemental. Level 4 has been attained for the Death Knight, and he gives the Hood of Cunning over to the Lich. So that's Strength Intelligence? No, it's Agility Intelligence there. So not ideal. Obviously you would want probably the Helmet of Valor, since wait, is Helmet of Valor Strength Intelligence, or is that the Medallion? Either way, Strength Intelligence is generally what the Lich would like, since it boosts up his bulkiness as well as damage potential. But Hood of Cunning, it's alright. Slightly increases attack speed. I honestly don't know how much agility actually gives in terms of attack speed, but yeah, there is that. Red Drake on the right side is looking to be cleared out here. So, oh, Yumiko is going to go for a Zeppelin drop, and it is going to be rather devastating, I would imagine, because no TP scrolls just yet. There we go, finally going to start channeling as soon as the gold mine is being targeted. One Acolyte is going to go down, but it seems like that's just going to be that. So we are going to be needing a TP scroll here from Yumiko. Zeppelin did get destroyed, but because it was entangled, those units didn't suffer from the dizziness debuff? Is that what it's called? Oh, we have a siege engine. Yumiko, what is this? Don't go back to your old ways. We are producing a couple of knights and spellbreakers, however, so yeah, I'm not entirely liking the siege tanks, but I mean, whatever you can do to win, maybe, I guess.
I smell magic in the air.
I mean, strategically it sounds pretty good. Like, you fight one front and then you siege tanks up into another. That's generally how people have used siege tanks, and annoyingly enough, it is very effective in its usage. We do have the Orb of Fire on that Archmage, as well as a +6 Coals of Attack, which is very scary to think about. Oh, Mantle is going to be probably given over to the Archmage, or not. It's just going to be kept on that Paladin. So yeah, no Tavern Heroes from either side. That the Alchemist nerf really did hit him quite a bit, and I'm interested to see what this Dreadlord does for himself. One Destroyer in the air, Carrion Swarm is going to be used to try and deal damage to the gold line there. Nice Frost Number will be able to finish the job on a couple of those peasants, and I'm guessing we're waiting on a second wave of that Frost Nova because, oh, never mind, second wave of that Carrion Swarm, and that will be able to take down a couple of more peasants. Stormbolt is going to try and burst down the Crypt Fiend, which we'll be able to do. Undead don't actually have access to their staffs because they don't actually have any. Knights, Animal Training is on the way, so those knights will be getting up to their full power very soon. Staff of Sanctuary is going to be used to heal up the half-health knight, and yet again another Crypt Fiend bites the dust. So yeah, Shun not looking really good right now. I don't know why I went to total resources. 47 versus 68. This delayed expansion really screwing him right now. Siege Tank apparently not even gonna go for the main base. It's just there to keep check of that Acolyte so that he doesn't place down a whole gold mine and yet another Siege Tank over here as well. So Yumiko not playing it super cancerously with the mass Siege Tanks. He's just using those Siege Tanks to keep control of that expansion from Shun, who unfortunately was a second too late on that TP channel and will be losing his Lich at, I believe, level 3. So yeah, he's looking really behind right now. I entirely blame it on the fact that he didn't get his expansion up in time. He kind of prioritized tier 3 a little too hard, and sure, you can have a tier 3 army, it's just that it's gonna be a 50 food supply tier 3 army versus a tier 2, tier 3, like 70 to 80 food supply army. So yeah, all in all, I'm not sure if that prioritization was smart. Expansion attempt here in the middle part of the map. This is the yeah, the last gold mine that can be claimed, because I believe the bottom right is going to be claimed by Shun very soon. But yeah, fortifying with a couple of more towers, trying to put the tower line at the tree line to prevent any air units from getting very cheeky. And here we go here, 20 supply advantage for Yumiko. He does have a couple of flying machines in the air. Carrion Swarm is going to try its best, as we do have just healing being tossed left and right. We are lacking priests for the human side, but the knights are just so tanky, almost 1,000 health each, and the footmen are not actually dying that quickly either. Carrion Swarm is a nice AoE spell, but I believe it is only level 2, so middling damage, and of course the Paladin, who is currently out of my sight right now. Oh, he did get Sanctuary back home, so I was gonna say that healing was available for the human side, but it seems like not now. Oh, and we do have the anti-air attack from the siege engines, and we'll be slowly whittling away against those destroyers there. Siege engine needs to be a little careful though, because orb armor reduction as well as magic damage coming in from the destroyers is going to be super effective against those siege engines, I believe. Is it? Oh, actually no, magic damage is reduced. But once the destroyers get their orbs, that is going to be quite a bit of damage to tank. Level 2 for the Paladin, so he does have access to that Divine Shield. Oh, actually no, he switches up to the Devotion Aura, so gonna try and add some additional tankiness to those units. Mountain King is gonna pop an invuln. Thankfully he does have that available. Staff of Sanctuary is on both sides, or both heroes, so yeah, the Mountain King is not exactly in any sort of danger there. We did have an A-bomb, but the A-bomb did quickly die out as soon as he appeared, and yeah, now it's just dealing with these towers, which is slightly painful for those destroyers, but with the access to the Death Coil, that shouldn't be too much of a problem. Oh, we might be able to take out a Knight thanks to that Death Coil burst there, level 5 Death Knight, so full power on that Death Coil, but he is kind of struggling in mana.
Our gold mine is running low.
Gold mine's running out for both of the main bases, 43 versus 68 here, so the gap is just not closing, sadly, and once the gold mines run out for the first base, that is looking to be GG for Shun, because yeah, still hasn't placed it down. The siege tank is still not letting up, and despite fighting toe-to-toe for quite some time in this fight, it seems like it is eventually going to be for North here. You can see the Death Coil, despite being level 3, didn't actually fully heal that Dreadlord. It's all thanks to the Orb of Fire debuff. What is it called? Heal Reduction. It's just called Heal Reduction. Okay. Thought it'd be something fancy, but it is just something simple. Dreadlord out of mana. Will probably get taken down very soon, as the Obsidian statue is going to get taken down very first, as well as this Dreadlord. I didn't actually anticipate him dying as soon as the obsidian statue got destroyed. But more flying machines trying to just take down those destroyers. First destroyer finally goes down, and the second one, without any sort of healing available for the Death Knight, should fall very, very soon. We have like 4 knights. Why are their swords glowing? I don't actually know why that is, but that is going to be that. Yumiko just absolutely mopping it up with his tier 3 army, and yeah, always because I would have to give credit to that decision not going to an expansion, rather going to tier 3 for Shun, which might have bit him in the ass a little too much. But hopefully you guys enjoyed this, and I'll see you guys again next time.